Okay, it should be recording. This is the next step was the actual vacuum forming of the plug. We got our setup here. Got a little table here. Have my vacuum forming box on the table with the vacuum cleaner nozzle plugged into the adapter that we've got on the box. This of course is the frame with the plastic on it. Over here we have our oven that we're going to use. The oven, what I do first is I set the oven at 170 degrees, which is as low as this goes, which works out pretty good for this kind of plastic. I put the frame in here with the plastic, and we let it sit in there for about 10 to 15 minutes. What this does is it drives out any air bubbles, humidity bubbles, or air that may be humidity that may be in the plastic. If you're in humid temperate zones, the plastic will actually absorb some moisture, and when you heat it up and jam it on the mold, that hot temperature will sometimes drive air out of the plastic and you get little bubbles. So to help eliminate that, I let it sit in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. That drives anything out, and at that point then we're ready to do some vacuum forming. Okay, we're all set to pull this first canopy. You can see I've got the plug on top of the vacuum box now, and we're set up over here. This has been cooking away for a while. What I'm going to do is kick this up to broil, set my timer, and takes about 2 minutes after I do that for that heat to build up and for the plastic to sag down under the frame, and then we'll pull it out and vacuum form it. You want to get on one this big, I want to get at least about 3 inches of sag under the frames. Now you probably won't be able to see it too well in this shot, but in a few later shots I'll get a close-up of what it looks like in the sag, and we'll get a close-up real close down here of the actual vacuum pull. So at this point, all we can do is just wait a little bit. We're about 45 seconds into it. You can look in there and see it's just barely starting to bow. Oh, by the way, this is my lovely wife Debbie over here. She's going to be helping me on the vacuum pull. As I mentioned before in an earlier video, on one this size, it's a lot easier for you to get 2 people on it and pull it straight down with these guides than it is to try to hassle it by yourself. So she's getting very adept at doing this, fortunately, as she lets me borrow her kitchen. Okay, I've got about a ½ inch of sag there. Now just prior to doing that, I'll run over here and plug the vacuum, central vac in, and get the vacuum running so that it's running when we pull down on it. There we got about an inch of, about 1 minute and 40 seconds, so about 20-25 seconds, something like that. We should be ready to go. Just before it gets down there, I'll get the vacuum set up and get the vacuum running, so it may get a little noisy. Yeah, actually you can see it now. It's moving down slowly. Okay, vacuum is on. Got about 2.5 inches of sag. Okay, here we go. And you can probably see the sag there. Set. Good job.
Okay.
Okay. No, go this way, you hit the camera. Thank you, Ron. Okay, so that's how it's pulled. Just going to pressure off. We'll let it sit here with the vacuum running for a few minutes while we plastic is cooling down because we don't want to release that pressure and have any distortion come up. Looks like we got a nice clean pull. One of the things you want to be careful of when you make your frames is that you don't have a lot of space between your plug and the end of the frame, because if you get a lot of extra material there, then you'll tend to get bunching of the plastic, and you'll get bad streaks and foldovers in your plastic. Okay, let me shut off the vacuum. Okay, it's looking good. Now, what'll happen now is you pick this frame up. Sometimes it'll come right off, but most of the time you get a little of the plastic going under the plug, so it doesn't come right off. So I will pick this up, and you can see it's going to come up just like that. And then we'll take it down in the shop. I'll turn on another video and we'll show you how we blow it out and trim this thing down and what the next step in the process is. Stay tuned. All right, well, next step is to get this plug out of here. First thing we're going to do, put something soft down here on your bench so you don't hurt the plastic on the top over here. We're going to pry off this sheet off the frame. There we go. Now, see if we can get this out of here. That's it. A little glass of air. Turn it over. Let the weight, it just falls out. You might have had to hit it under there. Now, over here. Now we got to trim off this plastic around here. Again, I used to use the snippers, but I'm very impatient and very lazy, so I'm just going to run over to the bandsaw. And we'll cut this right out of here. I like the saw there. Yeah, it's a little bit high going to the bandsaw there, so we'll just have to cut off this one section by hand here. There we go. it nice steady. Adhere the plastic to it. There we go. That's, when we talked about whether I was going to use 60 thousandths or 90, I think we're going to be fine with 60. That's still pretty substantial. It gets a little thin back on here, but you don't really care because you're going to cut this out anyway. Okay, got that all trimmed down. Now, this is the piece that we're going to use to form. I don't know if you can see this. It looked pretty clear probably in the video. But if you look up through it, you can see a few little imperfections. And you get some material take off a little bit from the ultracal. So we will take care of that. Clean this up a little bit. Okay, now we'll be ready for the next step, which will be sanding this down and getting it prepared to be used as the finalized base for the next canopy.